Hi, the idea of this video is showing you how it's easy to make some drum sound with Gotharman Little Deformer 3 and the variety of sound you can create. So I'm triggering the Gotharman Little Deformer 3 with a multiple instrument grid which is off screen. For now I'm gonna make the kick drum. So first we select percussion oscillators, and I assume you already read the manual where Fleming gives some hint how to use it. I have a printed one. So the first thing is trig the percussion oscillator. Now add some envelope to the pitch and envelope to the attack. Slightly change the attack. A little bit of noise. More release. When you detune the oscillator, change the envelope. It's already really nice. Next things we can do, it's slightly filtering the kick. Put the kick in the digital filter, add some distortion, and you can lower this by lower the input value. And taste the mix parameter. It can add on the subtract some harmonics. Let's add an envelope to the cutoff. Let's use the second one. This is envelope 2. We need to set the parameter here for envelope 2. Envelope 2 is always linear. As you can hear, with a really small change to some parameter, you can have a really wild variety of sound. I think the kick drum is okay for now. So we gonna make something like more like a snare. Use track 2. Once again triggered by multiple instrument grids off screen. So use perc oscillator. Let's use the second one. It sounds slightly different. Add some noise. add some pitch envelope and pitch to envelope to attack. Some release. And we can change the tip of percussion oscillator, as you can hear. They sound slightly different. And I'm gonna change the VCA envelope. Actually, it's logarithmic SMC noise click free, and I'm gonna use log but without the clicking free for add a slightly burst to the start of at the snare. Now let's go filtering it. Once again, use the envelope number 2 for the filter. Alright, that's really not bad. Let's make another one, like more hi-hat sound. So select 3 using perc oscillator 3 for this time. Add some noise. Some envelope to the attack parameter. Let's filter that too. This time I'm gonna use a high pass. As you can hear really quickly, I already create some really interesting drums. Now the next step will be to address it to different bus for processing it differently. So the first thing I'm gonna do is bus 2 is going to output left and right 2, and we're going to do the same for bus 3 and 4, and you see why after. Okay, so now let's address the kick drum to bus 1 and snare on hi-hat to bus 3 and 4. So I'm going here, kick drum bus 1, perfect, and snare 3 and 4, and hi-hat 3 and 4 2. Alright. So we just mute for now the bus 4, and we are going to hear the kick drum on bus 1. On the other drums, and if I upper the volume here, you can see it. Alright. Okay. So things we're gonna do now is modulate slightly the drums, but with the velocity settings. If I'm going to the kick drum, I'm go here on the level. I'm gonna use the velocity, and if I put it to the maximum, okay, I'm gonna do the same things for the snare, but for the snare, I'm gonna map the velocity to the release parameter. So I have mapped the velocity to all the 3 drums, and the FM of the kick affecting the snare and the hi-hat. Just I'm not sure about the velocity for the hi-hat. No, I don't pass the velocity to the hi-hat, so I'm gonna do it now. So now. It's already sound really good. So the reason why I have sent the snare and the hi-hat to 2 buses is just because I want to process one of the bus very differently to the other. So the first thing I'm gonna do is use an effect to the bus 4, and I'm gonna use a filter for filtering subs and only keep the high sound. So I'm gonna use high pass 1, mix to the maximum. So now I'm gonna cut the level of bus 3 and up the level of bus 4. So we are going the same drum as before for the snare and hi, but it's filtered by this one. Okay, and now send the bus 4, so the snare and the hi-hat, or filtering to an output FX. I'm gonna raise slightly the volume, and the output FX. I'm gonna use the time stretch. Sample pitch seems perfect. I'm gonna not use the envelope follower for the envelope of bus 4, so I'm gonna put it on off. So the sound is not infinity release. And another thing we are going to do is set the follower envelope so off for bus 1, 2, and adjust the release of the envelope of the kick drum, as you can see here. Because we're gonna use this for modulate the pitch parameter of snare on hi-hat. So here, pitch, I'm gonna use FLW1. This is envelope for over 1, so you can see here. So now when I raise that and put a snare, kick drum, really nice glitchy sound. And the other things we can do, it's panning this this bus, the high pass snare and drum, for more how I can say that in English, so for more panning space. So I'm gonna use random value, the random generator 2. So each time the kick drum is kicking, a new random value is put for the panning of the bus 4. Okay, so now bring back the original kick and snare with the new bus 4. And bring back the kick drum. So here is a good example how you can create a really quick drum sound with a Gotharman Little Deformer 3 and add some glitchy side.